Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Midnight Hunt draft here on the channel. My name is Nikolai, and in this video, I will be taking you pick by pick and play by play through a draft, in Diamond, no less, and talking through all of my decisions so you know what to do in your own drafts. If you enjoy it, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more, and always comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. You can find the Twitch stream at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. Okie doke, so what have we here? In this pack, we have the first card that pops out to me is Gavany Dawnsguard, and the second is Organ Hoarder. So Organ Hoarder is currently the de facto best common in this set. It's a very powerful card, gets you a nice 2-for-1, it puts you into blue, and a lot of the blue decks are the best decks in the format, and it just overall has a lot of synergy in the set. So it's going to be hard to push me off of Organ Hoarder. I like the Gavany Dawnguard. The problem is that a card immediately is better than the idea of a couple cards down the line potentially. So, for example, like Gavany Dawnguard can draw you like 3 cards over the course of the game, but Organ Hoarder draws you the card immediately and lets you keep going. Now, this does cost 1 less mana, which is nice, but I think Organ Hoarder is in a better color and potentially lets me draft a better archetype, and so Gavany Dawnsguard is going to be on the sidelines for now. And also, it's less flexible. You don't even necessarily hit a creature card with mana value 3 or less, so we're going to take the Organ Hoarder here. And then I think I would take Gavany Dawnguard second out of that pack. Ooh, right away we have an interesting pick. There is Play with Fire, but there's also Devoted Graftkeeper. And I have wanted to try the blue-white deck. I've heard a lot of good things about it. This is a great card in that deck. It's a 2/1 that can start tempoing your opponents out. And then it can also get you some nice disturb synergies. I was actually literally thinking about this topic of taking gold cards more frequently, because typically I'm very anti taking gold cards early, but I heard a very interesting take from a drafter who I think is very good, Ryan Sachs, and I actually made a video about this topic if you want to watch it, where taking a gold card can leave you more flexible because it doesn't put the people around you into that color combination specifically. So even if they end up in your color, they're not it doesn't cut you off from drafting blue-white later. So I'm going to take the Devoted Graftkeeper, actually. I want to try out that theory. I think it's interesting. There's also Play with Fire, which is a good card, leaves me more flexible, but I think blue-white is a great color combination in the set, and so I really want to try the Graftkeeper. Okay, and now there is Revenge of the Drowned and Baithook Angler, both very good cards, and both in blue, so they could both keep me open. There's also Blessed Defiance, which is a card that I want to try, because I've seen some interesting data on this card being a good performer. I've just got so much cool stuff to think about with this set. It's really a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm not going to take it here, but here it's between Revenge of the Drowned and Baithook Angler. Now, Baithook Angler works better with the Devoted Graftkeeper aggro plan. Revenge of the Drowned is just a great interaction spell, and blue-white isn't necessarily going to get a ton of great interaction, so I'm going to take the Revenge of the Drowned here over the 2/1. I do really like the Baithook Angler, and it works really well with the Graftkeeper, but I think Revenge of the Drowned is going to be more important. And then Fallen Hope would be maybe in third place over Blessed Defiance. But yeah, I like Revenge of the Drowned. And now pick 4. We already have some options here. There is a Spell Rune Painter. We could potentially go towards blue-red. Definitely an option. There's also Geist Wave, which I'm not a huge fan of. I don't think you really need it. And then there's Hobbling Zombie. Gale Drifter is a bit expensive for what I want to be doing in this set. I'd rather have cheaper cards, and I already have a couple 4-drops that are much better than it. Devious Cover-Up can be good in the right shell. There's a Dawnheart Warden, but we're not really playing green-white at the moment. So I think we'll just take the Spell Rune Painter and see where that leads us. It just seems like the most powerful card. There's also Falcon Wrath, Perforator, but we're just going to go for the power level here. Whoa. And now that we get a Blade Stitched Scab. Interesting. Along with Siege Zombie, Startle. So maybe we end up shifting back towards blue-black. Now, we did take this card over some blue card, I think. But I'm still very happy with it, because it did feel like it left me more flexible, because I felt like I wasn't going to be cutting myself off in later packs or putting other people into the archetype I wanted to draft. But getting a potential blue-black deck here. Blade Stitched Scab, Startle, and Siege Zombie. I think I would take Siege Zombie if I wasn't taking the Blade Stitched Scab. And then I would take Startle third. And now interesting spot here. This is actually quite interesting because there is a Moonrager Slash to go with my blue-red deck. There's also just a Startle, which is a very good card in or just a solid player for any blue deck. I know that blue-black is like a de facto very blue-black is a de facto very strong deck, but if I'm getting Moonrager Slash pick 6, maybe I should speculate on that and potentially just move into blue-red. I kind of have lanes into everything. How is Counterpart? I don't remember exactly which card you're talking about. I forget the name. If you told me the first word, I would probably know. I'm going to try the Moonrager Slash over the Startle, because if red is super open, maybe we can end up with a sweet deck. And now... Unnatural Moonrise. Not really a card I'm interested in here. We don't have any green cards so far, but we could change that if we took, like, a Harvest-Tide Sentry or something like that. So it's looking like we're going to be blue something. Maybe we take Unruly Mob in case we end up with blue-white deck still. I don't think we're ending up in green at any point here. Corpse Cobble, not my favorite card. It does potentially send the signal that blue-black would be open, but we're not necessarily playing blue-black. We could be blue anything. Spirit's okay. I like Consider a decent amount. It works well with the Spell Rune Painter. It works well with the Graph Keeper. It works well just filtering through my deck. I could try the Stormrider Spirit. I could try the Corpse Cobble. Could try I definitely don't think I want to take one of these blue cards here. I think Consider works really well if I end up in blue-red. Ooh, we wield Festival Crasher, and we wield Consider. I think Festival Crasher could be a really good card in blue-red. And we have a couple of instances that work well with blue-red. I don't know. I want to try... I like trying new things, and this could be really good in the right shell. We already have one Consider. I think this is the highest upside card, so we'll take it. I don't love Tavern Ruffian. Don't think Turn the Earth. We're not playing green. That's the one color we're not going to play unless we open some absurd green card that really makes us want to switch. Stolen Vitality is a consideration. So is Bladebrand. Ruffian could be okay for just enabling the slash. I just don't think it's very good, though. Let's just take the Stolen Vitality. And now we get a Blessed Defiance really late, so maybe we'll end up in blue-white after all. Potentially see. We'll have to see pack 2. Flare of Faith or Geist Wave. Let's take the Geist Wave because that's the one color we're pretty sure we're playing. And this can also combo with the Red Alchemist card if we get that. Okay, so currently it's looking like we're going to be playing blue X because we do have a couple of good blue cards. And we have some gold cards. And the red cards we have synergize with our blue cards. We did open up pretty powerful black cards. Deathhound, Dreadhound can do good stuff. Eaten Alive can do good stuff. A couple good green cards in Deliberator and the Shadow Beast sighting. And then in terms of red cards versus white cards, we did not open a good white card. This card is not really a main deckable card. And then there's the Purifying Dragon, which is a pretty good card, I'd say. And Immolation. Kind of like Immolation a little bit better, potentially, but it's not an instant or sorcery. There's not a great blue card. We're not going to take Geist Wave. I think we're just going to take the Dragon here. Blue-black could still be open. But it looks like red is the most open color here, and the Dragon seems pretty good to me. Even though it is fragile. Well, that's a development. We got past Jaren, eh? What is happening? I guess the person next to us also isn't playing black. Huh. That is a development. Because this card can do some really good stuff. We do have this Blade Stitch Scab. We don't have enough support. I think we have to play blue-red or maybe even... Yeah, I think we have to play blue-red here. Blue-red seemed the most open. And I kind of like the Bait Hook Angler over the Lamhole Terrier. I think we're just going to stick to our guns and try to build the best blue-red deck and see how that goes. And it looks like it's going to work out potentially for us. Flame Channeler. When a spell you control deals damage, transform it. How many spells do we have to deal damage? We have Moonrager Slash. That's so far all that we have. There's Arcane Infusion, but we currently have 6 instants, so I think we can hopefully wheel that. There's also Revenge of the Drowned, which is just a better card than Flame Channeler, I think. And there's Startle. Flame Channeler just seems really inconsistent to me. It is a 2-mana 2/2, so it doesn't need that much to go well, and it does flip into like a nice like value card. Maybe I just need more 2-drops, but I do like Revenge. Maybe not as much in this deck though. I'll try out the Flame Channeler maybe, see how that does. And another Festival Crasher. I'm gonna try to get the Festival Crashers and then get the Considers later. Though maybe I'm supposed to take the Considers and then get the Festival Crashers later. I'm not sure. Because I don't think anyone else wants Festival Crasher. So let's just hope that Festival Crasher wheels. We got one pretty late last time. So Combat Trick. Bounce Spell. Few 2-drops. Cantrip. But yeah, Consider seems really good in this sort of deck if I am able to trigger my Festival Crashers. But maybe I just need Festival Crashers and then I can get Considers later. Maybe nobody else wants Considers. I think Festival Crash is too important to not take. And now I get Startle. Good pickup for the deck. Neonate's Rush is a card that I was actually looking for because I do have Flame Channeler and that can deal damage. But maybe I can wheel that. I don't think anyone else wants it. And Startle kind of fills in for Consider. That's another reason why I was okay passing. Okay. So there's nothing in this pack for me. So let's just take this green card. Blue-green card. Wow, Scab Wrangler. Good card. I'm not sure if it's going to be good in our deck, but it is a good card. There's also Famished Foragers. There's Abandon the Post, a card that maybe I should try out in the Spells deck. Scab Wrangler just seems like a good 2-drop, though. Even if I don't have a ton of spell synergy with it, I think it's better than the Famished Foragers. And I could still get some good play out of it. And my opponents might just kill it because it's a really scary card. Neonate's Rush. So 3 mana for that effect, or I could take another 2-drop. I already have 5 2-drops though, and I don't really need this for Perforator or the Stinger. And I do want more damage effects. Wow, we wheeled Dreadhound. That's kind of insane. Okay, so we just ended up with a bunch of good black cards from this pack, but not wheel the Considers, but that's fairly expected. Not really something I'm surprised about. Since we're not playing white anymore, we might as well pass a last pick white card to the person next to us in case that puts them in somewhere. Okay, red-blue stuff. Oh my gosh, of course we opened up like the best white rare in the set. That's an ouch. Well, this pack was not good for us. Yikes. This card's incredible. We're gonna just stay the course here, though. Take ourselves a Lambhold Harrier, it's fine. Also, I'm kind of sad that we didn't wheel the Arcane card, because that means somebody else is taking blue-red cards, which is probably not where we wanted to end up. Just felt like we were getting a lot of blue-red stuff the first pack, but maybe we weren't. Let's take another Startle. Organ Hoarder, baby. Because in pack 1, it felt like we weren't seeing a ton of black. Like, we saw this card pretty late, but black wasn't flowing. So maybe they were playing, like, we saw a couple of gold cards for blue-black, so maybe they were playing black X, like black-white or something, because we also didn't see a ton of white cards other than the Devoted Graftkeeper. So maybe they're playing black-white in pack 1, but then they didn't take Flesh Taker, so maybe there's no black-white drafter. I'm just confused. I think Consider's better than Arcane Infusion. I have 8 instants. This will be my 9th. This card's only good if you get like 10, so. Another Blades just got wild. Ooh, Festival Crasher number 3 or Falcon Abomination. I think Falcon's just really good. I think the other blue-red drafter is going to take the Festival Crasher from me, which makes me sad. I do have 9 instants. But I think Falcon Abomination is just better, and I don't have any 3-drops, so. And I have a lot of 2-drops. Ooh, Galvanic Iteration's a good pickup. Maybe blue-red isn't going to be bad for us after all. Flip the Switch was a card that I should have talked about. I don't think it fits this deck very well because I don't have great ways to spend my mana at instant speed. This card's going to be sweet, though. Now I actually would play the Arcane card if it came back around because I have 10 instants or sorcerers. I think that's the number you need. Because when you look at, like, 4, that'll give you decent odds of hitting. Bait Hook Angler. I don't know if I have to play this Neonate's Rush. The Observer, Angler, there's Mounted Dread Knight is just a big guy. There's Shipwreck Sifters. Now they're kind of interested in Unblinking Observer. I'm going to take the Angler and upgrade my 2-drop slot. Not hoping. I think Electric Revelation's fine. Definitely better than the Rush. Random Socialite. Five, 6, 7 2-drops, fine. How many creatures did I end up? 12 and then 11 instants. Band of the Post could be interesting. I'll consider it. The fact that there was another blue-red drafter here really confuses me. Because I was getting so many good blue-red cards, and then somebody just poached me. I guess that's the same reason why it's interesting on like taking the Graft Keeper, because maybe they went into blue-red because they saw the gold card. But I feel like I got a lot of the cards that I needed for the deck. So, 17 lands here seems reasonable, but I do have 2 considers, so maybe I could go down a land. And then just play it like this. I'm playing all of the cards that I drafted. Are there any cards that I don't want to play that I'd rather play a land over? Not really. I'm pretty fine with this deck. I want to try Abandon the Post, I think. I kind of want the Neonate's Rush to help me flip this thing, and also just to try it out. I haven't played it yet. I don't think it's very good, but I think it's better than another land. It also cantrips to help me with my Festival Crashers. So yeah, we're going to play it like this, I think. Playing it close to the chest here. Let's see how this deck performs. I'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special shout out to those at the credits level. It is thanks in part to the patrons that I'm able to continue dedicating the time and effort needed to keep our community growing and thriving, and so I'm very grateful to the patrons for helping me do so. If you become a patron, you can even gain access to my card-by-card tier list for Midnight Hunt, which is a great bonus resource to help you gain a leg up on your competition. Patreon is transparent, it is easy to use, and it can be canceled at any time if your circumstances change, so there's no long-term commitment. If it sounds like something that would be of interest to you, it really does help the channel out a lot, and I highly encourage you to check it out at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Without further ado, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round 1. We have a pretty solid hand here, I'd say. Festival Crasher into Slash, into Organ Hoarder. I think our deck has some decent power level to it. The thing I'm just still a little peeved that somebody else was playing blue-red, because I think it's one of the less common archetypes, and then it just so happened that there was another drafter in it, but maybe they have a slightly different like version or something. Get our Crasher down. I think this card could be good for us. Like, hits pretty hard. No blocks. So what does this mean they have? It means they have a combat trick of some kind. Okay. I'll give them the chance to block. Might as well. Hey, Jokester. So I think they have a combat trick as one of these cards. Oh, I can put the Abandon the Post into the graveyard. Perfect. Nice. Nice! Wow, okay. So that's what they had. They had Sacred Fire. So I no longer have them on Combat Trick. If they try to flashback Sacred Fire, I can really wreck them with Geist Wave, and I can even just startle if I want to. No attacks, because I want to be able to threaten the double block on this guy. So here's how this is going to go. They're going to attack. I'm going to double block this. They're going to go for this on this guy, and I can startle this guy to kill it, and I'll lose this guy, which is fine. Actually, I could even just Geist Wave my guy back to my hand if I'd rather have that than a Festival Crasher. Because then I even get to keep my guy, and I trade this for this, which is a reasonable trade. It's either that or startling this, which then leaves me with a Festival Crasher. Is Festival Crasher better than Flame Channeler? I have already used one of my burn spells. And I'll draw an extra card for my Geist Wave, which I might not get to do in the future. Oh, it does have Ward. Well, that is good to know. Good thing we had this backup line, eh? I totally forgot that thing had Ward. Pretty good backup line. But yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind for the future. I wasn't thinking about that. In my head, I was going to use the startle line. Okay. So they're trying to get a 2-1. I don't really want to give them a 2-1 flyer, so I'll just take the hit for 1. They could also have a combat trick, which wouldn't be good for me. Okay, it has become nighttime. I can easily double spell to make it daytime again. I think I'm going to just discard my land, because the Baituk Angler coming back is still nice. Okay, I'm glad I discarded the land. I will play my 6th land, though, because I will just discard it eventually to this. Attack. And this thing actually nets you a card eventually, because you get to, like, discard to draw 2. Yeah, so they're chipping in, but we're pretty okay with that. We have this Revenge to help us punch through anything scary. Nice, the Falcon Abomination will help. We're really winning this race quite hard right now. So I'm going to play the Falcon Abomination. And then I'm going to play my land so that I can Revenge of the Drowned if I need to. Boom! Got the win. So I almost punted that game away by not understanding my line, but luckily I had my backup plan. I could have also startled my own creature to pump up my Festival Crasher, but that wouldn't have been the best. So yeah, got a nice win in the first round. The Festival Crasher felt really good. It basically felt like a 3-3 for 2, which was great. And overall pretty happy with how the deck performed there. I'm feeling pretty good about our mix of cards. I think having 10 instants, 11, I think we have 11 instants in our deck. I think they're all instants, actually, too, which is kind of good. So I think we have 11 instants and 12 creatures, and then of those 12 creatures, I think we have, like, 2 Festival Crashers, and we have a card that copies instants. Okay, we're going to keep this hand. So against a green deck. So we're going to want to save this Consider, because we have the Festival Crasher. And then we're going to want to lead with our blue 2-drop, because the reason we lead with our blue 2-drop is because we're glutted on red mana. And so this way we can at some point go like Festival Crasher, like we can next turn go Festival Crasher, and then we can go like, we can cast our blue spells along the line, because we currently have so much red mana. Sure. So we're playing against blue-green. I will attack. And then play Festival Crasher. And then next turn, this will hit us a 3/3. Sure. Whoa, some update. What happened, chat? Let me know. I can't see it. I can hear the sound effect. That's why I have the earbuds saying it, which is nice. Okay, my turn. That's a fine trade for me. I'll get first crack at the apple here. Okay. And they're stuck on lands, it looks like. Magic hosted me for a viewer. Thank you so much, Magic. I appreciate it. And thank you, Morpheus, for letting me know. And Flame Phoenix. Welcome in, everybody. Wizards of the Coast employee, you are appreciated. Okay, so that is a good target for our Geist Wave. So we're going to play our second island. We're just going to Geist Wave pre-combat because we don't want to have to worry about them blocking with that. If they block the Lamhold Harrier, we're okay with that. We will ditch our Mountain to make this thing hit for 5. Because now we'll be able to keep hitting them for like 1 a turn. I guess they have the bait hooking they're bring back themselves. We've been saving this Consider. Okay, another one of those. That's fine for us. That is just fine. And we've still got this Consider and the Electric Revelation, so these things will hit for 5 next turn. Festival Crasher is really performing. Maybe I should have taken that third one over the Consider, because it's just such a good 2-drop for the deck. But that's one of those things you learn by playing the deck. But I've been really happy with it. I just felt like I had a lot of 2-drops. I should have taken whatever the other card was over that random 2/2 that can flip, because the 2/2 that can flip is not very good in my deck. I thought that I might get more Moonrager slashes and stuff like that at the time, I think. Okay. They're just going to block there 100%. So let's see if we can find something that's going to knock this guy out of the way. That is a good card. And they have to block there. And if I draw into my... Oh, man, if I'd only committed, I could have won. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I think I made the right play. Yeah, Festival Crasher is performing very, very well. Sure. Okay, so they have 2 blockers. I have 3 attackers. So they're taking 1 no matter what. If I... Unless they chump block that. So let's just attack all. Is it possible for me to kill this and win as a result? If they chump that, no. I need to be able to use Moonranger Slash Face. Currently, this looks like the best block for them. So we get the win. Whew, nice. So far, so good. Smooth sailing on this deck. Oh, I forgot to turn on 17 lands to track this one. Luckily, it tracks after the fact, I'm pretty sure. Until you start your next draft, so. I'm glad I remembered. This was a sweet one. Consider's pretty good in this deck. Startle's pretty good in this deck. This hand has no creatures, but we're going to keep it because I think you just have to keep these, like, relatively spell-heavy hands. We can even consider to look for a 2-drop. And finding a 2-drop would be really good for us here. Not going to put an Organ Hoarder into my graveyard, though. Sorry, buddy. On the quest for 2-drops, there is a certain level of card I'm still going to take. We found a Spell Rune Painter. Oh, blue-green, the matchup again. Okay. So they're splashing. And we can even discard Abandon the Post if we really want to. I think I want the Festival Crasher to help me pressure. If I can take a turn where I flip this thing, I could then have a massive turn where I use like Abandon the Post and Startle or something. Are they ramping again? Okay, they're playing their own Organ Hoarder. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Hopefully Startle can do some good work here. Though they're probably not going to walk into it. If someone attacked me with these two creatures, what would I block? Maybe I would like double up on this guy. Or I'd double up on this guy. No, I wouldn't double up on this guy. That'd be terrible. I'd probably just single block there. Okay, so they milled an Angler. Sure. Okay. How much is the flashback? Okay, that's a lot. My plan has changed. Depending on what they do here, I could just hit them for $1 billion. Sure. Okay. Three, 5, 3, 6. Yeah. Makes sense. Do I care if these trade off? I kind of do, yeah, because it gives them an extra blocker for next turn when I flash this back. So I'm going to use the Startle. Thanks, Doc. And it leaves me with another attacker. So I'm hitting them for 14 here. Ooh, tough break on that draw. I was trying to keep this land in hand, but I guess it gives me something to discard to this thing next turn. Okay. So Festival Crasher is the truth. I'm going to play this land so I could potentially double spell with these two next turn. This card is not very good in my deck. I think I misread the back half of this card in the heat of the moment, and I thought it was just whenever you cast a spell. They're tapped out. So depending on what I draw, I could potentially end the game here. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Neonates Rush. That's actually exactly what I needed. Eventually. Yeah. 1 damage to our creature and 1 damage to its controller. So I make these things unable to block. Attack with all. They chump. And then I finish them off with a Neonates Rush. Next turn. As long as they don't gain life, we're chilling. Good work, team. And I'm just going to play around them having a discard spell. Thanks, Doc. Like, if they have discard 2, I can still win here easily. I don't need this guy at all. And there's not a ton of life gain they could have. I can't think of any off the top of my head, at least. Yeah, Rise of the Ants. That's an uncommon, though, luckily. It looks like we got there. Got the win. Okay, I think in this particular archetype, Festival Crasher may just be, like, incredible, like a B-level card or something. Or at least the way I built the deck, the way I drafted it. It's basically always been like a 3-3, and it was like a totally a 5-3 there. And also, Abandon the Post was pretty good there. I liked it. It was good. It, like, made it super hard for my opponent, and it buffed up my creatures. So it was like a mass pump spell combined with making my stuff unblockable. And also that 2-2 was completely useless. So, like a 2-2 that can flip into a 3-3 sometimes is still just a fine card. But I definitely misevaluated how many burn spells I was going to get. Because being able to, like, draw extra is nice. So, but those are the sorts of things that you learn as you play. Kind of like how I forgot that the Gavany thing had, like, Ward 1. See you later, Morpheus. But yeah, definitely a good game there. The deck has been performing quite well. Festival Crasher, really an all-star. Organ Hoarder's been doing good work. I like the Considers. The mana base isn't like... I mean, 8/8 is fine for this deck. Startle has been great. Okay, well, this is a great hand. Just like the actual best hand. Like, the fact... I think we've drawn Festival Crasher a lot because we have 2 of them. But this card has definitely felt like an overperformer. Okay, so now we have something to discard to our Revelation. Yeah, Flame Channeler's still going to stay in. It's better than our next best card. Oh, they're playing red-white. Okay. And they have a Festival Crasher, but it's undoubtedly worse than ours. Luckily, we can flash back the Revelation at some point. Drawing 2 more lands there was not ideal, though. We might lose this game as a result. Just too many lands. 8 lands in the top. Some X cards. We just need to draw all spells from here on out. Sure. That's kind of bad for me. I'm going to take the Painter, I think. Just give myself another creature. Give myself some double spell potential in the future. Then I can get these 2 guys into play. We managed to mill a couple lands, though, so we have 6, 9, so we're chilling. We actually might be able to... We'll be able to get these 2 guys out. We'll get our 6 lands in play, then we'll discard our 7th. We could even potentially copy the Electric Revelation if we get up to 7 mana and really need to. Just refuel. So hopefully we can copy like a burn spell or something. Sure. I'm looking for Revenge of the Drowned right now to really stop this Festival Crasher from taking over. Because currently it's pretty scary. So they're also kind of a spells deck, it looks like. Another card I would like to see is the +3/+1 and trample card. That card could be really good in this spot. Ah, that's not good. Ooh, that was good though. That was very good. Yes, yes, yes. I have 6 creatures. Wow, could I kill them? Like, wow, if they attack me, I can tap one of their other guys. They're in striking distance for sure. Wow, this card's a game changer. Super good. Sure. These are both instants, right? 3, 5, 10. So if they have nothing in hand, that is 3, 5, 7, 9. That could deal 5, 10. I'm just going to attack with these guys. So I have 1 blocker. I can hold back this guy, and I can tap something. Yep, that's what I'm going to plan on doing. Then I'll tap the dragon again. Sure. Oh, Abandon the Post is so good here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to tap this thing down. They could potentially, like, maybe kill me if they have a combat trick, but then I just win next turn, I think. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, because it's 3 plus 3 for each one. And if this flips, it's even bigger. Man, Abandon the Post doing some serious work. Scab Wrangler, the real hero, though. That's not as fun. Luckily, I don't have more life than them, but that was pretty good. They attack with both. Can I win if they have... Okay, so any instant or sorcery and I lose. So if I block here, I'll still have lethal if they play a blocker. Okay, so they don't have an instant or sorcery. Maybe they have a blocker, though. So we got them, I think. Yes! Huge. Huge! That was a good game. Good one for sure. Close match. Let's check the lighting. Oh, I knew that chat would not tell me when my lighting got screwed up. I knew chat would fail me in this key aspect of the chat role here. I knew that my lighting would get brighter over time, because it was dark when I started, and now it is no longer dark. But it's okay, chat. I forgive you completely. And YouTube gets to see behind the scenes into how things work, so it's a win-win. I said before I did the draft, chat, that I need you to help me figure out when the lighting changes. I just looked like a god. Thank you, Badge Cell. Chat thought I said it was dark. Well, it can be too dark or too bright. There's a middle ground. When I look like I'm coming from the stars. Okay, this is a good hand. Every time I see this card, I wish it was the 1-3. They liked bright ND. Oh, gosh. The madness. Saint Nicolai. Glowing from the wind. Oh, Thermo Alchemist, you say? We'll start with this guy. It's okay, Timber. It's okay. This card's not what I like to see. I'm worried. Yep, that's not ideal. This guy's gonna hit us for a lot. We might just Revenge of the Drowned it to buy us some extra time. Then again, we also might just save our Revenge of the Drowned. Just imagine how much better Festival Crash it would have been. And when I say imagine, I mean significantly better. Ooh, we're gonna take the Galvanic Iteration. Because we do not need lands, and this is really powerful. 2-1 can block 4-2. We can also attack. We can double startle. We can double Revenge of the Drowned on turn 6, which would be really good. This guy's annoying though. He blocks all our stuff. Double Revenge does sound pretty good. Wow, they're exiling that guy. Ouch. Monster. How could you? So Abandoned's looking less good here, but it has been winning us games. So I could double startle, I have to start pressuring here, I'd say. Yep. They will get another bat. How much do I care about the bat? Versus them just drawing this card again. Ouch. That's a painful experience. My hero. Best of pleasure. Okay, big draw. That was huge. That was a big draw. Okay. I'm going bright again. Thank you, paper bag person. Praise me. Okay, so I've got blockers set up, and if I don't die this turn, like if they don't have anything too massive, it looks like they're going to use this guy. Oh, no, they have removal. No. Okay, that's fine. Okay, well that could be huge. What the heck? Could we kill them here? 2 things +3/+1 and trample. So +2/0, +2/0, +3/+1 plus trample, +3/+1 plus trample. So that would be 2. That would be that's 3, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think we attack all and go for it. The other option is to copy our Revenge of the Drowned. We could almost go this, flashback, and cast this. I have a timeout to think about it. So how are they going to block? They're going to block this thing, probably. They're going to block this thing. Let's just go for it. I think it wins us the game. So only blocking that with a 1/1 bat. What? 3, 5, 7, 9? Well, now they're certainly dead. Whew. Well, that was a weird spot. I'm surprised they didn't block. That was just bizarre. I think they could have lived, but I don't know if they could have killed me on the crackback, because I could have also duplicated my Revenge of the Drowned if I needed to. But yeah, Festival Crasher is hype. I was worried about this deck, because it looked like there was another blue-red drafter taking all our Festival Crashers and like considers and stuff, but it looks like the deck is just performing great. Oh, I'm overlighting again. I am entering a brightness zone. Hello, welcome back. I'm human again. I'm too not bright now. Maybe I should just accept my brightness levels. There we go. Customized. Everyone loves customization. Keep this. We don't have any spells yet, but Festival Crasher better than you thought. It's really been like the best card in my deck, pretty much. Like, I mean, obviously I've been getting carried by like some uncommons and stuff too, but I'm gonna save the Scab Wrangler. I'm not gonna play it immediately. I would rather they Silverbolt this thing. To be honest, I'd rather they Silverbolt the Baithook Angler, but they might be tempted by this thing. Get rid of that guy and get rid of the Iteration. Get rid of... I'm not going to have a lot of creatures this game, maybe, so I'll get rid of Scab Wrangler. I think this card can be just really good, so I don't really want to get rid of it. They're going to zap this thing. Oh, this Silverbolt is just messing with my werewolf plan. Maybe I should have just got rid of the Spellrune Painter. Ugh. I should have discarded a land, I guess. Would have been perfect. That's a problem. Punished. Scab Wrangler. So good. I wonder if they'll use Silverbolt ever. They have no reason to. Silverbolt, the bolt in my deck. Ooh. No attacks. I can do this at instant speed, I think. That I can. No. I'm frozen. I'm frozen. I'm stuck in the ice. No. Game, come back to me. Quick. Fire up the base cannon. The drama. Will I get back before my game is done? Will I die a painful death? Tell me. I need to know. Can I beat that Griff? It's a 3-2. Comes back as a 2-2. It's too large for me to kill. And all my favorite creatures are pecking at their heels. Imagine if the game just reset and called it a tie. That would be very good for me. I was like, I was kind of optimistic that would happen because I don't feel confident about my odds of winning this one. Why is my avatar different? Oh, they're using it. Let's go. I can get my Spellrune Painter down now, maybe. They must have drawn another removal spell. That's a good one. That is a good thing to copy with Galvanic Iteration. Heck yes. I'm glad I waited on the Galvanic. And I even ditched the Electric Revelation. No! Monster. Could you? I'm enraged. Put both of those things back. I need to find a land so I can get this Spellrune Painter into play, I think. He says as he does not draw a land. Let's take the Startle. That's unfortunate. I was hoping to hit a land there. There it is. Okay. You gotta be kidding me. I'm just can't catch a break. Oh my gosh, and then they top deck their Organ Hoarder? I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. It was so close. Dang it, if it had become nighttime, I could have had a chance here. Wow. That's just kind of irritating. Not gonna lie. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I go to 1. Killing this thing would have been really good for me. Oh, of course they have another spell. Why wouldn't they? I have to draw something like my +3/+1 and trample trick. This game has just not gone well. Okay. So I can Galvanic. I can do this, then I can Galvanic. No, I can Galvanic Revenge of the Drowned. I have 8. I'm 1 mana off of being able to Galvanic Revenge of the Drowned, bounce 4 of their guys. I can Galvanic Revenge of the Drowned. And block 2 guys. So I'm not dead. Actually, I totally am dead. Because they have 3 flyers. Dang it! Maybe they'll forget to attack. Dang nabbit. If I had milled this card with my Consider, I would still be in the game. Or if they didn't just top deck like a absolute beast every time. Oh man, I was so close to winning this game. Oh man, that was just combination of factors. I'm kind of sad about that one. The game crashed on me and changed my avatar, that's why. That was just unfortunate. The fact that they literally had the mythic rare to punish me is so frustrating. I hate it when that happens. Where it's just like getting rid of their 3/4 was actually like a fine play. And then they just had that like random mythic to phase their guy out. And it just max punished me. And made it so I didn't have any blockers. Well, lost my blocker that was going to hold back their decay guys. It was like, oh my gosh, why? Why did that have to, why does that card have to just wreck me? That card has wrecked me before the exact same way, where it's like I make a play. And I also don't even draw the card from the Neonates Rush, then I couldn't hit my, like, yeah. Oh, that was so frustrating. It was just like such a combination of factors. And I missed, like, that one turn where I needed to hit a land so I could get my Spell Rune guy into play. And then he top decked Organ Hoarder that one turn. It's just like, oh my gosh. Well, let's hope this hand goes better. Ooh, we can get double Festival Crasher. I'm already feeling good again. Ooh, Blue-Red Mirror. Ooh, they're also Festival Crashering. Now I'm kind of worried. Hopefully my Festival Crasher can be superior today. Oh my gosh, we're playing the same game. I'm just gonna lose because they were on the play. It's just like, oh my gosh. I need to find a removal spell for a Festival Crasher. Yeah. Yep. Those guys do hit hard. I do not want that guy, that's for sure. Maybe they'll have no spells. Maybe they'll just run out of stuff to do. That could be good for me. I doubt it, though. I mean, just not the way the game works. I can Galvanic a Startle. Buy myself some life. Or I could just die this turn. That's another option. They don't have any instants, so they would have cast them. Still, the instants are pretty cheap. Oh, I'm one mana off being able to do that. So I can Galvanic, Startle to buy myself some extra life. Oh, I can't Galvanic Revenge, unfortunately, but... Do they have the Burn the Accursed? I wonder if they're going to wait for me to cast another spell first. They do have Burn the Accursed. Okay. So I'm going to take 5 here. But I could just kill their flyer, which seems good to me. And this thing just kills itself automatically. Oh no, burn the accursed deals 2 to me! No, I counted wrong. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. Oh my gosh, no! Dang it. That is a terrible blunder. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? I could have shrunk this, shrunk those two guys, taken 5. Oh, no, taken 3, gone to 2. This thing dies. They then have those 3 against a board of nothing. I can play a land, Scab Wrangler. Oh no, I was still dead. Yikes. Yeah, counting correctly would not have saved me either. That was just like, if I had been on the play, I think I could have won that game, but being on the draw made that impossible. Because we had like the same draw. It's just, I needed to be able to pressure them, and they got to do it instead. Oh, gosh. The hand was so good, too. It just, they had what they needed. Like, if they also drew Moonrager Slash to kill one of my Festival Crashers, and I didn't draw my Moonrager Slash. So 2 tough losses in a row. Ugh. Sometimes there's some matches where it doesn't matter if you go first, you'll just win anyway. And there's some where it really matters, and so that just was one of those. Happens. And then the last match was just like a catastrophe. It did not line up my way. And they had that mythic to close the door on me. I was just getting wrecked by Silverbolt last night. Okay. On the play. This thing's gonna flip if I hit a land. If I don't hit a land, I just lose. I'm gonna mulligan this. I can do better. Same hand. Yeah. I don't want to go to lower, so I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna get rid of my 5 drop. And then we'll probably not hit her. It's like a worse hand because we just don't have anything to do. Wow, we hit our island. Let's go. Why was I being so pessimistic? I like mulligan to hand for this exact reason, was because I didn't want to have to like hit the exact land. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that was a pretty solid draw, all things considered. All things considered, pretty decent draw there. Ooh, 3 colors. Oh, so close. I'm letting it become nighttime voluntarily for their werewolf to flip. Couldn't hit a land. Bummer. I'm enraged. Enraged, I say! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, well there's the land, so we're chilling. Let's just cast this guy. Ooh. Ooh, we could go for the classic combo again. I think the Stolen Vitality is actually really good here. Such a good combo with this Galvanic. It just hits them for 1 billion with our Festival Crasher out of nowhere. We even use it with our Falcon Abomination too. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Are you kidding me? What? Oh my gosh. Missing on our land drop punished us so hard. Luckily they're attacking like a Goomba. Unless they have a combat trick, which they... Or they just want this thing to grow. Oh, I think I had to block. And just hope for the best. Wow, that worked out. Sure, their Slaughter Specialist grows by 1, but we killed a 4/4 Menace for a 3/2. We're doing it. So we can make it flip back to daytime. Mhm. 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 The fact that we're still stuck on lands is not good here. Good attack with everything. Go block, 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 but I think he'll do their big guys. And I can revenge this thing later. Can I kill them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Deceptively close. Keeping my 2/2 fly around worth it. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked with this guy because now this thing grows. And I flipped this thing back, which is nice. Huge. 4, 9, 12, 13. Wow. Come on, consider into a land. Neonate's Rush, is that it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's not good. Oh my gosh, I'm so close. Don't tell me now that I'm going to lose to just missing on a land here over and over. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I don't have any considers left, right? I have one consider left in the deck. Or I could hit a 2-mana spell into land. I think land plus 2-mana spell is more likely than hitting exactly consider. Can I live if I block? Probably not. No! Oh my gosh, if only this thing didn't gain them life. Oh my gosh. Oh man, going from 5-0 to 5-3 is a feels bad. Oh, I was so close. I was so close. I just couldn't hit my lands in that game, and it really screwed me. Because then this werewolf just came down as a 4/4 and wrecked me. Because it got rid of my bait hook angler and stuff. Wow, that's such a feels bad. We started off so well and then just lost like 3 really hard games in a row. It didn't feel like I had a lot of agency, and I mean, yeah, I just felt like I didn't have a lot I could do there in any of those games, which wasn't a good feeling. But the deck performed pretty well. We learned a lot about the archetype. Festival Crasher is key. Abandon the Post, pretty good performer overall, not gonna lie. Scab Wrangler clutched that one game. This combo is pretty good. Vitality thing. And then what else? I mean, overall, the cards just performed pretty well. Neonate's Rush actually did a couple of things, which was nice, but we didn't have enough vampires to make it really good. This card was a bit of an underperformer. We didn't really use the dragon very much. Oh, I'm so disappointed. We started off 5-0 and then ended that way. It just didn't really go our way at the end there, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Just tough. It's a tough loss, for sure. But that's how it goes sometimes. Anyway, if you did make it all the way to the end of the video, in the comments section down below, leave hashtag festival crashed, because not only did he crash some opponents' festivals, but our 5-0 run got crashed as well. So hashtag festival crashed to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. Remember that if you did enjoy it, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content, and you can even check out the Twitch stream if you would like to find my content live. You can also check out the Patreon if you would like to support my content, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Gain access to my tier list for the set. Some cards are definitely going to be shifting around after this one. And also gain access to some other cool perks and rewards. You can also find NicolaiBolas merchandise, which is linked in the description down below. It's got some cool stuff. There's shirts, and there's a mug, and there's a sticker if you want that. I got pretty fun with some of the stuff, like some of the text. So like the shirt says hello, hello, hello on it. And like the mug says #1 mythic instead of #1 dad. I'm pretty proud of that. I thought it was pretty funny. But that's just another way you can support you can just get some cool NicolaiBolas stuff. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to the channel at no extra cost to yourself. Simply link your Amazon account and your Twitch account, and then boom, Bob's your uncle. Prime Gaming subscription, support my content. It's included with Amazon Prime. You can also, I did add a new feature where you can become a channel member, and I kind of revamped it. Basically, it's $1 a month, and you get a cool little badge that over time goes from like a common looking thing to an uncommon symbol to kind of a rare and then a mythic symbol. So kind of a cool little way to show you support and also get a cool little badge when you leave a comment. Just kind of a fun little thing I added. If you're interested, I just thought it could be fun. There's also the NicolaiBolas Discord server. If you want to get updates when I post new videos, I post to the Discord. I also interact with folks there, talk about stuff. You can find the NicolaiBolas Twitter if you want to get notified when I post future videos. I post it to the Twitter. And you can find links to my articles also in the description down below. I wrote all that stuff down because there's a lot of stuff to get through. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. 5-3 with this deck was pretty good. We had one rare and didn't necessarily draw the best in those last couple games, but overall a pretty fun time. That's going to do it, though. I'll talk to you next time.